welcome everybody to Staff Introductions. Today we have with us
Matt Hardy, and I am the worship pre-production lead for Lord of Life.
That's fantastic. That's a mouthful, Matt. What does worship pre-production entail?
Well, when I thought about it, I just broke down the words, and it just basically means that everything that is involved in getting the worship service live streamed every week, there's a certain amount of production that has to happen before they go live. And it's definitely a team effort, but I really just coordinate all of the assets, so to speak. So videos, the music, and I will be going forward also doing the Proclaim. So Proclaim is the software we use to put in all the slides, all the graphics, and the videos to just keep people, having a visual representation of what we want them to be able to see, and that you normally would be able to see when you come to church to some degree.
Right.
So, and then I also will produce the contemporary music. So adding instruments and mixing and all of the good stuff that makes the music, just sound a little bit more accessible. And Michael Thompson, as you all would see on the other video, handles the traditional music, mixing and recording of things like that. So
that's fantastic. I think that it's hard for people to understand that the universe that we have moved into here post-COVID requires a lot more digital production stuff and technology and work just to make things happen. And Matt is a total gift to us because this is his bailiwick. This is one of many creative strengths that he has, and his willingness to serve. How many hours a week are you roughly?
I do between 10 and 20 hours a week.
Okay.
Just depending on if there's new music that week, if we're reusing music, videos, and any special church holidays, obviously.
Sure. Yeah. But Matt, you've been a total blessing to us. And I think you and Kenny, your presence in this community at the start of COVID was divine benevolence, that we had the skills and assets and gifts, especially in you two human beings, to really pull this off. And then, obviously the Mike Carancis of the world have totally retooled how they do things, and they've learned new technology. But I think you and Kenny in particular allowed us to get off and running really, really quickly. And so I just want to say thank you on behalf of the congregation for your work. One last question. What's one thing you'd like the congregation to know about you, if anything?
Well, I grew up going to this church, and my grandparents, Bill and Helen Tuttle, and their family were definitely a huge influence and a big part of my life in terms of just participation and church attendance, but mainly just the loving example and environment that is really well embodied by Lord of Life and everyone that attends the church. And them having been founding members, were just part of the original group. I think that helped set that up. So when new members join, they're just inclined to let that come out of themselves, and be welcoming. So that really is, I try to let those principles guide me in my interaction with everyone else and my work for the church.
I see that in you all the time, especially the principle of, man, you just make teams better. You work well in a team, and you make everybody else around you better. So thank you for saying yes to this position. It's not the only thing on planet Earth that you do creatively for the body of Christ, you got lots of fires, but I'm grateful that you're willing to give some of your time to our mission and vision here at Lord of Life. You're a blessing to us. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Nathan, for the same.
Awesome.